In Poland, women activists opened an abortion center across from the parliament building. The center, called Abortak, is also a symbol of the struggle against strict abortion laws.
Now, the predominantly Catholic country has some of the most restrictive abortion laws in Europe.
Abortak provides information and support on medical abortion, ensuring that women go through the abortion process free from trauma, shame, or humiliation, and emerge feeling supported and empowered. The center represents a brave and determined step toward women claiming their rights. In Budapest, thousands gathered on bridges and in public squares in protest of a new law banning LGBTI+ events and allowing for the identification of participants through facial recognition technology. The city's mayor declared that the Pride March would be a municipal event, revealing his stance against the bans. With their, quote, "Grey Pride," unquote, demonstrations, protesters offered a creative and widespread response to the regime's humorless authoritarianism. In France, Gisèle Pellicot, who was subjected to systematic sexual assault for many years, ensured the prosecution of dozens of perpetrators, saying, quote, "Shame must change sides," unquote.
En ouvrant les portes de ce procès le 2 septembre dernier, que la société puisse se saisir des débats qui y sont tenus. Je n'ai jamais regretté cette décision.
Court hearings were held publicly. Gisèle Pellicot courageously raised her voice against the social structure that conceals crime. She gave strength to millions in their struggle against sexual violence. The aid ship Madeleine set sail from Italy toward Gaza with the aim of drawing attention to the humanitarian crisis created by the Israeli government's blockade of Gaza and to strengthen calls to lift the blockade. A 12-person crew of activists, politicians, journalists, and healthcare workers aimed to break the blockade with a symbolic shipment of humanitarian aid.
We have truth, justice, love, solidarity, and that's why we are way stronger than them.
The Israeli Navy stopped the Madeleine in international waters and detained the activists, but had to release them. Appealing to the global conscience, this act has been a rare symbol of solidarity with the people of Gaza.
Do not be silent. Rise up for justice and truth.
The Istanbul Bar Association was targeted for its call for an effective investigation into the killing of Kurdish journalists in conflict zones inside Syria. While the Bar Association was shedding light on the killing of civilians, a war crime under international law, a lawsuit was filed against its executive board on accusations of, quote, terrorist propaganda, unquote. The court ruled for the bar president and board members to be removed from office. Lawyers protested this decision with the slogan, quote, "The defense will not be silenced," unquote, standing up for professional honor. In the Republic of Congo, a battery recycling facility located in the Pointe Noire region has long been polluting the region's soil and air, threatening the health of the Vindulu people.
Autour de l'usine. Les enfants sont au contact de cette poussière.
The struggle against this threat, launched by Cyril Traoré Ndebi and his family, spread and grew, leading to the closure of the facility. The community not only protected their own living space, but also won an exemplary victory against the environmental damage caused by international capital. In South Korea, women launched the 4B movement as a new method of resistance against the roles society imposes on women. The movement, which rejects dating, sex, marriage, and childbearing, opposes long years of femicide, digital violence, and society's oppressive gender policy. In Izmir and Birmingham, cities 2,700 kilometers apart from each other, municipal workers with similar demands went on strike. In Izmir, Turkey, workers protested ongoing wage injustice and harsh working conditions, while in Birmingham, England, rising living costs and lack of job security were the main reasons for the strike. With these struggles, which conveyed the same message in different geographies, the workers gave voice to their demands. In Serbia, thousands took to the streets following the collapse of the ceiling at Novi Sad train station that killed 16 people, calling it the result of negligence, lack of oversight, and corruption. Students leading the protest shut down the bridges and held silent actions with the slogan, quote, "Corruption kills," unquote. Farmers, workers, and artists soon joined the demonstrations. The peaceful mass protests represent a hopeful step toward holding officials accountable and seeking justice in Serbia. In Istanbul, students at Istanbul University held protests on campus when elected mayors, primary Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, and municipal employees were removed from office and detained pending trial. The student protesters overcoming police barricades became a powerful symbol of tearing down walls of fear. Showing their determination to defend democratic values, students boycotted classes and raised their voices in public squares. The youth movement came to represent the new face of hope and resistance for Turkey's democratic future. In Peru, the Cucama people won their struggle to save the Marañón River, which they consider sacred. With its rich ecosystem, the river is the Cucama people's source of life. However, its existence was threatened when it suffered great damage from oil spills and environmental destruction. The determination of long-running struggle of the Cucama women, organized under the leadership of Mariluz, was met with a historic court decision that recognized the Marañón's right to exist, flow, and live without pollution.
This parliament means nothing!
In New Zealand, Maori parliamentarians performed the traditional haka dance in protest of a bill aimed at restricting indigenous people's rights in parliament. Those who performed this peaceful action were given the longest parliamentary suspensions ever imposed in the country. The parliamentary protest took place at a time when New Zealand was witnessing the largest mass actions in its history. These demonstrations were organized by the Maori people and their representatives in defense of their cultural identity and equal citizenship rights, and resulted in the rejection of the bill.